Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers, I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna, promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, do yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone today? Happy Friday. Can everyone hear me? Hope everyone is doing well. Today is call-in day. So if you want to come up and speak, because I actually don't have a hell of a lot to say, but I'm sure you have a hell of a lot to say. So anybody that wants to come up, I'll put the link in the chat just now. Usuals are welcome, and so are new voices. I'd really love to hear some of your voice. I don't think I've ever heard Church Nelly's voice. I don't think. I don't think I've ever heard. Who else? Who else is usually cheeky in the chat? Cookies and cream. Don't think I've ever heard your voice. It's all right. When you're ready. When you're ready. No pressure at all. Right, here is the link. I do hope everyone's having a lovely Friday, and don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button. Let the algorithm know that we are here so that we can drown out the hater channels. Right, let's see who's out here. Hi, Sonia. Yes, I'm having a very pleasant evening. Hope you are too. I haven't actually got it on a slide, but if you want to see Cheeky Anne when she was like, how old was I then? Like 3 or 4? Then you can go to the community tab and you can see a video, a picture of mini me when I was little. Yes, actually, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Oh my god, the state of it! I tell you, the state of it. Cinderella, having a lazy Friday. Good for you. All right, let's get straight into it, shall we? Right, what do we have to talk about today? Oh yes, reminder, here are all the people who dislike Meghan. Just so we can all remind ourselves of who they are and what they look like. I think we're missing a couple. I feel like we should actually make a separate one for all of the people of color who hate on Meghan as well, because they do exist. They need to be added to this wall. Like the haters from the inside should be acknowledged as well. Just wow. Who's that one from GB News? Nana and Candace Owens. There's a couple of them. And we've got Maureen there, looking very beautiful, I have to say. I'm not gonna hate. Maureen is gorgeous. Right. It would appear that things are going forward with this Samantha Markle thing. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, so I'm just gonna wait and see where this goes. But from what I've read so far, it seems like this might actually go somewhere. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, what is going to be said? What's she going to say? Meghan was mean to me. She's literally suing Meghan for saying that she was an only child or something like that. It's really pathetic. Ginger Lily, have you released any more videos? No, I have not. My computer is being really funny. I did actually shoot a video recently, kind of like a day in the life, and also I went to get some new ear piercings. So I filmed all of that, but it's just my my phone's being funny. So when I figure out what's going on with it, hopefully like by the end of next week, I'll have another video out. I've got a couple more videos that I need to shoot, like sit down talk videos, like why I left the UK and all of that kind of stuff. So more is coming, I do promise. I just haven't had the time to get to it. Yes, Maureen. Beautiful, Maureen. Yes, actually, I'm going to release that ugly on you. Give a warning. Why would I give a warning when I can just drop it on you and enjoy you all freaking out in the comment section? Hi, Anne Lewis. Hope you're looking forward to the weekend as well. Yeah, Nana is a loose cannon. She really is. Yes, Ginger Lily. It's a frivolous lawsuit that should be thrown out. Truly is. Right side tragus piercing. Is that the one? Wait, is that one closer to the edge of the ear? No, I got the top of the ear, the cartilage at the top. I don't know if that's the tragus. But yeah, like right at the top. This is the second time I'm getting it done because the first time I got a keloid. So fingers crossed. Gail Lewis, what judge would take this seriously? Especially since it's documented by Samantha's first husband, her kids, and bot Sentinel about her scamming. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a circus show, that's for sure. I mean, I hope it goes nowhere. but it's going to be a circus if it does go anywhere. And in the end, I think it's just going to be Scamantha, and whoever is backing her, that's going to be exposed. Chosen to be only in the US can someone file a lawsuit because someone said that they were an only child. Isn't that to some degree what kind of makes the US great, though? Oh, here's a link, but if you're just joining and you want to come up and speak, there's a link again. I've just posted it. Yeah, Pelena, this court case, it said the newspapers can make money. It truly is shameful. Okay, so Rochelle, you said next Wednesday there will be a hearing requested by Meghan's lawyer to dismiss the loss. Thank you so much, Rochelle. Sometimes I don't always get every last piece of news that comes out. And when it comes to these lawsuits, you gotta kind of go through the actual paperwork, which I don't like to do. Thank you for doing it, Rochelle. Yeah, okay, Lewis, if it goes to court, it must mean there's corruption behind the scenes. I think there is. And it's just even more nasty because if this is coming from someone in the palace, it just makes them going to the coronation just even more awkward and uncomfortable. Church Nelly, I saw your comment, and as wonderful as that sounds, the actual getting it done is an absolute hell to the no for me. But thank you for suggesting it, though. I do like your adventurous ways. And Louis, she said there's more to this than meets the eye. It's to put a royal on the stand in court. Yeah. Televised just for humiliation. Even if it's thrown out. That's what they want, isn't it? And how I don't even know if embarrassing is the word. But how maybe disgusting would it be if Meghan had to stand on trial when Andrew never did? Wow. Cinderella, it's Florida, anything can happen. I have literally seen videos of people dancing in the water with alligators. So I believe you when I say that anything can happen in Florida. Okay, on to the next thing. So, people were wondering, or rather the haters were wondering, where the 12 million that was on the Archewell report, where it came from. I had suspected that this was or part of that money was from the Sussexes themselves, and this is not unusual for anybody that has a large amount of money and is setting up a charitable fund. Not only do you give money to charity, but you also get a tax deductible. So my guess is that this is probably from the Sussexes' money themselves. If not, we have seen them meeting with huge philanthropists. But regardless of where this money came from, it is money that is going to a good cause, and it just shows how big Archewell is at the moment and how big it could possibly be. And the most important thing that the media is not pointing out is that this is private wealth. It is not taxpayer money. So about 10 million, 77% of Archewell's total 2021 income came from an unidentified wealthy donor. And it was like the Sussexes themselves. Right. He just clocked Maureen. Maureen, beautiful she is. Light side, I pray that they shut the whole court case down as well. Yell, you said, and she didn't say that she was an only child. She said that she was raised like an only child because of the other siblings were not around anymore. Yeah, she even said that she wishes that she had had more siblings. Thank you so much, Alan Vernon, for the super sticker. You said, she's paying for it herself. She had to make $1 from the tens of books she sold. No, I think she's being backed by someone. Okay. Only other thing I had to say was about this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the state of UK journalism in February of 2023. Does anybody stay in contact with their first shag peers? So this woman, this Wham Bam and Thankyou Ma'am, is still on her media tour. She was on Piers Morgan's show, and then they had a discussion about it afterwards. I don't know why this woman is doing this to herself. I watched the interview with Piers Morgan, and he was basically just making fun of her. She says that she wishes that Prince Harry had given her a heads up, that people were asking about it, that they knew it was her. I mean, in the initial release of the book, I saw a few headlines, people asking, "Oh, who was it? Who wasn't it?" But I just don't see that. If she had just not spoken to the media, I think it would have eventually gone away because they've speculated about Harry's sex life before. She is the one herself that came forward, and it's like she's trying to um like put this all on Harry. Harry never mentioned your name. No, literally no. I did not hear the name Sasha Walpole before she came forward. So I honestly think that if she had just stayed quiet, then it would have just remained speculation. In fact, I didn't actually see or hear since Harry's book came out any woman's name being put forward. Did anybody else? You'll tell me if I missed it. Did anybody see or hear the media put any woman's name forward as the mystery woman? Because I don't remember it. I saw headlines of, oh, who was it? But I never saw a name. She's the one that's decided to put herself forward. Hoy, this is where we are. All right, I can see Lauren backstage. So I will let you up, Lauren. And just a reminder, please, live chat rules going forward. Please keep it respectful, keep it on topic, and please respect the time. At the moment, Lauren is the only one in the chat. So, Lauren, I'm going to give you the stage to just go ahead and speak. I won't put a time limit at the moment.
Okay. Also, how generous. I gotta say though, these rules look really cute. I have not seen such a happy set of rules ever.
Yeah.
Just one second, my alarm is going off. I have not seen such a happy set of rules ever. Between the smile and the sparkles, I feel like anybody who doesn't like these rules has to. You just have to. They're endearing as heck, but they're also, I think, very clear. So I'm just going to back you up. It makes sense. Keep it respectful, keep it on topic, and respect time. I know I go long, so fully understand if you've got to play me off and get the little candy cane
Uh,
hook pulling me to the side, you know?
no, you're the only one in the chat at the moment, so go right ahead. You've got the floor.
Okay. Well, I think as far as um, look, I do believe in don't kiss and tell. And I don't believe that anything that I read was anywhere near a telling of a kiss.
Mhm.
Um, and I think, I mean, I think I've already said it before. There's definitely a sense of money at play here. All of this
Yes,
is about money
of course.
for for the main media that are kind of pushing this narrative. I think they're doing two things. They one want to goad them into yes, Tanya, as you say, she outed herself. Nobody nobody was knocking at her door for this. Um but it's about goading them into potentially divulging more things via a case. But I think as well, it's also to overtly disrespect Megan.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's like it's this idea of, okay, that page of haters, and I'm not asking you to bring it up. I don't want to traumatize some of the people who are watching, your wonderful viewers. But there is this common aesthetic, and I have to say it doesn't really give I have a hit TV show vibes when you look at it from a lot of these haters. That's how I'll say it as gently as I can. If you want to fill in the lines, you can. I didn't say it. Okay. Um, and frankly, they found someone who matched the readers who have the most rage and feel the most ownership of Harry. And they said, "Look, this is our chance to say, well, we got here first, and you never forget your first." That's partially why they're doing it, because they believe that's a stupid idea. You never forget your first, and as if that carries on for the rest of your life, and things don't
Mm.
matter more than that, and having 2 kids with someone isn't like somehow just this massive, complete change in perspective, right?
Mhm.
I truly believe they chose her and not either of the 2 women he was actually seen kissing in the photos where she, was present in the background, not engaged with. Um, because, well, you know, the other 2 probably said, "You know what? We don't really need the cash." Judging by the judging by their haircuts, they probably already have the cash.
Yeah, and we don't even
Um,
know their names, do we? We don't know the women.
no.
So really, it was her. This is
Mhm.
all her.
Mhm. That's inserting yourself into the narrative, like
Yeah.
Kyan is the only way I can describe it, because it's like it's such an extreme choice to say, "Let me not only tell you something you didn't wanna know about me, but let me, like, make it national." That's TMI and fantasy at the same time. I just it's giving I'm on the, you know, I'm out in space. Of course, I am not any kind of psychiatrist. This is my opinion. I'm not diagnosing anything, so please just understand it's a conjecture and discussion. But yeah, it's not giving honesty to me. It's giving I saw a check. Also, forgive the siren in the background. I live near a fire station. Woo! Um, but yeah, I will always be protected by firefighters. Um
Do you think it's also that it's because Harry is taking control of the narrative, and so they just now they want to take the story and try and spin it into something humiliating just because they didn't get their hands on it first.
Oh, yes. And I think, first of all, that's brilliant. And I think you nailed down that exact kind of like narcissistic behavior of control that they keep. They just they can't let him go, and so they will dig through his history, and they will use that again. It's this idea of we were there first, we had you first, so no matter what you do, you're never really free from us. And, that's it's grasping at straws. And what do you think about what it says relating to their opinion of Harry?
Um, I what do you mean, the royals or the press? Or
Both, because they're working together.
I think they are just obsessed with still trying to control him, and they're still, going through maybe what, phase 4 or 5 of the 7 stages of grief, and they are coping. They are really coping right now, and not very well.
They
And
keep
it's
jumping
just,
back into denial like
yeah.
every other step.
I
Mhm,
really think, I mean, given everything that we've read in the book,
mhm,
I really think that they thought they had Harry underneath their thumb, and they just
mhm.
cannot believe. It's like one of those people that runs away from Scientology.
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
cannot believe that. he got away. They really can't. I mean, they for
Yeah.
goodness sake, the guy was shopping at TK Maxx and buying budget meat and
Mhm.
couldn't even stand up in his house. And here he is in a Montecito castle. They're just
Mhm.
shocked.
You're 100%. I mean, I think it also just speaks to the level of, like, just the way he was underestimated. Every time you see them trying to pull him back and you see what they think will be the bait that grabs him, I'm
Mhm.
just like, "How can you watch this escape that was so artfully managed and handled and think that the choices that are gonna be made by him, his team, the lawyers who counsel, are gonna
Mm.
fall, to such a low level of effort and of
Yes.
in I don't wanna say intelligence, I didn't say it, okay? Um, it just tells you that they really had no respect. I mean, we knew that, but it's just no respect even for, again, your opponent, you know? It's that thing, if you're gonna fight someone, respect them. You don't know what people do when they're backed against a wall. I'm not saying that he is backed against a wall in any way, but it's just like, you just have to be smarter when you're dealing with people, and the thing is, he's had a very long time to know what these people, both the press and the institution, are good at. And I think they're better
Mm.
off focusing on all of the ways that they will use someone else's work and words to reinvent their own narratives and public images, than going after this kind of non-event. And I think for the
Mm.
women who are clinging to this woman as like the face of them who they project themselves through, I feel very I don't feel sorry for them in the sense of like I actually care. Um, I feel sorry for them in the sense of like I pity that because this
Mm.
cannot be all you have. It can't be. I mean, darn, like it really cannot be. There is so much more to life than some man you were never gonna get. Like I just again, if you want
Yeah.
that life and you know this, you know about the whole thing with beyond just leveling up, it's just living with class. Live with class
Yeah.
and you will attract what you want. Don't
Exactly.
keep your head at what you couldn't have and then leave no room for the thing that's meant for you. And it's just like whenever I see these people doing this, I'm going, you're disrespecting Megan because what she smiled and it looked nice, but
Mm.
it's
Um, all right.
that
Well, thank you
it's their
so
own
much,
issues. Yeah,
Lauren.
of
Thank you.
course.
Okay. You can actually say in the chat, but I'll let a couple people come up. And
Absolutely.
thank you so much as always.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
Right. Valerie, hello.
Good evening, Anne. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
And how are you feeling? How are you
Really
keeping?
good. Yeah,
That's
so
good.
much better. So much better this week. Like the week before, I was like, had a cold and I was throwing up, and it's completely different this week. Nice and refreshed.
Okay, that's good. There's twofold here. I was looking at Samantha's business with the court case, and also the young lady called Sasha Walpole. And I think the problem is this. And I was listening to a man a while ago, and he says that when the world starts to wake up, they start to see things differently, and they start to project things, and they attract things. And what is happening for a long time, people have always told you, you can't get this, you can't get that, you can't get that, and everything, like the princess is always a fairy tale. It's for others, but it's not for the likes of us. But when you start to realize, you know what, I'm good, I deserve this, I deserve that, and you start to make yourself the person who you are, you attract the person who you attract. And what is
Mhm.
happening and why there's this tremendous fight. And if you notice, when they talk about the woke, it's not necessarily because about the rights, it's because people realize who they are. And people's voices are being spoken. Obviously, people, you're hearing things from Black and brown voices for the first time now. And as I told you yesterday, I feel now there is a shift, and something is going to happen. Samantha has spent her life being jealous over Megan, and the more she's jealous of her, the more she goes after Megan, And I personally think, let it go to the court. And I think that it will backfire, because they will have to be exposed. She will have to expose, and it will come out all about her children, how she was. It will come out, and it might cause her to get very ill, because she suffers from multiple sclerosis. As for Sasha, she didn't get what she wanted, because people were mocking her all over Twitter, because they talked about how she's not attractive. Because when he asked her, I think Piers asked her, did he trade up or trade down? She said she traded down. And one of the sad things about the issue of certain people believe, as long as they've got certain colors, they must get everything. And one of the sad things about it is that a lot of people hang on to things because they think they're going to get it. But the very people who make the rules, they change the rules. And when they change the rules, everything is thrown out of place. And that's why she's behaved. That's why she said what she said. And Piers, he mocks her. They're all mocking her because she doesn't
that's
look
the
a fool.
thing. That's the thing. I sorry to interrupt you, but I honestly think that she's probably been watching the whole Harry and Meghan hate train for the last 5 or 6 years, and she thought, I'm going to jump
Yes.
on this, and I'm gonna, maybe I'll get an opportunity like some of these royal reporters and all of this. But she doesn't realize that she's not in their little club. They're just using her, and then they'll throw her away.
Yeah, because she started complaining about the harassment, and what she's complaining about is because people must have found out where she lives and tell her that tell her how she is, and that's what she's upset about. Because what she doesn't seem to understand, and this is another thing to what they don't understand, and this is what Tatler was saying ever since. They were complaining about wealthy men like Harry not marrying English women. They're marrying everybody else but not them. And one wealthy man said, because when they marry other women and not them, they marry the women. The girls are prettier, they're kinder, their families are nicer, and also they said that they're intelligent, and they know how to scrub behind their ears. If you read a whole Tatler thing about it, and then they started saying they're marrying Americans, and they talk about they give them good blowjobs, or who gives them who thing. But
Oh
the
yes,
truth
I
is,
remember this. Wait, who is it that
yes,
wrote that? For those of you that don't know what Valerie's talking about, it was one of these royal rodent rats who wrote this whole article, basically comparing like American and British women, and saying, oh well, he'll love Meghan because American women give good blowjobs. Like it was so tacky
yes.
and just unnecessary and nasty. But that's what Valerie's talking about. For those of you that weren't aware of that article, it was one of these like Rachel Johnson exotic
Yes, it
DNA
is.
type of articles.
Because before Harry got Meghan, they had a guy who's got a law, he's a lawyer. Apparently I think he's from an aristocratic family, so he's got to heir to some house. And he went to America to work as an accountant. And this man who's got a whole set of hotels, he said that, well, before we make a discussion, I'll let my accountant come in, Billy. Now his accountant Billy was his daughter, and she was really good, and then he felt he wanted to marry her. So that is what, and then they started seeing, and then they have another one in Ireland where what he didn't have any daughters. So what they did, they bought over the I think it's, when if you die and you don't have sons, you give it to the male cousin. Well, I think they were able to buy their thing as a business, and so he's got his three daughters run his I think they run his their hotel business. So what they're anger about is these wealthy men are not marrying English women, they're marrying Greek girls, African girls, mixed race girls, and it's just rampant. And that is what their rage is about. They're not marrying them. That's why she said what she wrote, what she did. Because
I mean,
he said, because one chap said,
I think you're right in what you're saying. Like there's obviously like a rage about you know people marrying interracially. That's kind of I guess that's kind of always been there. But then you think about it, it's actually a very small percentage of people. Even now in today's like very mixed, open-minded society, it's still a very small number of people that actually date and marry interracially in the wider scope of things. So it kind of just makes their rage quite ridiculous. But thank you so much, Valerie. I'm gonna let someone else come on. But great points as
Thank you
always.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. YM Droid. Thank you for waiting patiently. I don't think have you spoken before?
I haven't. This is my first time calling in. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Chicago.
Oh, lovely.
So yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
I just wanted to comment on the Samantha the scammy Markle's lawsuit. I really think that this is going to come back and bite her. Reason being, in the US, and I know like laws differ internationally, but at least in the US, in order to prove defamation, you have to prove not only that what the person said is wrong, but that they knew it was wrong and that it had some negative impact, I want to say like on your reputation to the point that it would harm you from like, future business dealings or in general community standing. So in order for her to even try to prove that, she is going to have to admit to the fact that basically her business is making money off of Meghan.
That's a very good point to make.
And if she, I don't, let me just say, I don't think that she's bright enough to thread that needle by, like kind of claiming some harm without admitting to her role in at least some of the negative stories or just in feeding the press stories in general. So whoever is funding her for this, she doesn't seem to be independently wealthy. So whoever is like paying for lawyers for her to even, like kind of go through this whole rigmarole, I think is going to regret it. I don't think it's going to turn out well for her if it is allowed to continue. And honestly, I think the only reason that it is continuing is because Florida. Unfortunately, that's a toss up. I mean, like you can definitely get a attention seeking judge, especially in that state, who's willing to let things go to a certain point. But yeah, even if it does play out, I don't think that it's going to end up well for her.
And can I just ask, as and thank you for bringing those points forward. Can I just ask, as an American, were you interested in the roles before? Like, how did you kind of come into this space?
A bit passively at first. I actually spent some time in Europe, so it was one of those things. And I think it pretty much my perspective on it are that the royal family was always sort of an amusing fascination, but nothing that anyone was really taking seriously for any matters of importance. It was amusing that there's this entirely, I want to say that there's this entirely different, I want to say structure as far as that goes. But I think even the people, I think the last royal people really cared about was Diana, and then like originally William and Kate because William was her son. But beyond that, I mean, like it was kind of a passing interest. Definitely when Meghan married in, certainly as an American, as a woman of color, it was, like it was interesting to see that. I'll say that I started following closely after the whole Princess Michael of Kent brooch debacle, where she wore the Blackamoor brooch. And I could not wait for the photo where she had to curtsy before Meghan, because I did find out enough to know that Meghan would outrank her as soon as she married into the family. And I'm still waiting on that photo, but I was hoping that would come out. I don't know. I think that Meghan has far more patience than anyone I'm aware of, just for enduring, like, you know, everything that she's been put through. I mean, like, you know, even before the horrible, like, Jeremy Clarkson things. And honestly, I'm wondering what the laws in the UK are, because that column, you know, like here, that could be grounds for a restraining order. For him to be getting into his, you know, dirty sexual fantasies all in print is
That's the thing though, YM. In it technically it is considered harassment, but it seems as though the law seems to just not apply when you are a well-known famous man bullying a well-known famous woman, more so if you are friends with her stepmother-in-law. It just seems like the rules just don't apply, and the further we go down this royal rabbit hole, it's we just find how much you can get away with things if you are willing to abide by that invisible contract.
and that's, oh my goodness, man, that stands out to me the most. I mean, like, here you have a woman who is aging like curdled milk, um, who and I say that because it's a reflection of her personality, seemingly, who harassed and tortured the former wife of her now husband,
Hmm.
continues to torture and harass behind the scenes her son and his wife. And somehow no one, you know, like, no one counters with, why do we allow this? Like, seriously, the leader, and I was actually raised Episcopalian, which is the American form of the English church. So it just blows my mind. And I know, like, my grandmother was divorced and remarried, and it actually, there was a long period of time where she couldn't take communion. Now, to have the head of the church as a divorced man and his wife who, wow. I mean, you know, like, beyond
Yeah,
just
it doesn't need to be said.
yeah, beyond the obvious, you know, like, kind of is just so spiteful, like, you know, kind of, and instrumental in all of this harassment, and that no one questions the standard. I'm like, man, he could have just divorced Diana a long time ago.
Yeah, might as well have just, right?
If no, because honestly, like, if no one cares that this, you know, like, kind of basically adulterous, you know, well, they both were adulterous, but, you know, like, if no one cares about that, then I mean, like, they could have saved everyone a lot of time and heartache and just, you know,
Yes.
gotten together off jump. But yeah, just I really don't get, like, you know, kind of how successful they've been in rallying people to that and deflecting to the point where they try to put moral failings onto Harry and Meghan. It baffles me that there are enough people to support it, and I don't think that it's everyone in the UK, but, you know, certainly there is a sizable portion. It really just blows my mind that, like, that critical thinking is lost so much at this point that no one even questions the whole narrative of, oh, Harry's, you know, he's obviously crazy and lying about everything, and, you know, like, but it's actually Meghan who's controlling him and pulling his strings. It's, oh my goodness, like, it's just so ridiculous. But I don't know, I guess that's what happens when you live in a state of delusion, and and are comfortable there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, YM. And thank you for calling in. You're always welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. All right, Melissa, you're going to be the last caller. No more callers, please. But before we get Melissa up on stage, just want to say thank you to Jean for the super sticker, and also Legs. You said thank you for the super sticker. Also, wasn't Scammy's motion to compel discovery denied today? It was not bought in the correct manner. I think if it is true, the rags aren't covering it. I can neither confirm or deny that. If anybody else can, please do in the comment section. But thank you for bringing that up, Legs. If anybody else can confirm or deny that in the comment section, that would be fantastic. Right, Melissa.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Oh God. Thank you for having me on. Hello, everybody. Just wanted to talk about this. Was it Samantha Markle debacle? To my knowledge, she did have a lawyer, and the lawyer went to court to say that he or she, I don't know if the lawyer is a male or female, but they wanted to be they wanted to basically end the actual relationship. And to my knowledge, her new lawyer is connected to Donald Trump.
Right.
So that's what I kind of learnt about it. But it's connected to Donald Trump. So definitely somebody's definitely funding the actual what's it called again?
The lawsuit, yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't have that money at all. Also as well, I think the palace, the institution, may be involved in this because somehow in some way they need to denounce or discredit the actual documentary. So I think they're going to try and discredit it within court. Because to my knowledge, the producer has been called. I think her daughter, Harry, everybody. So basically, it seems everybody that was involved, including Jason Knuff. I think so. Everyone that's kind of been involved in that documentary has been called. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I kind of researched up. I think.
Sorry, Hope's just made a really interesting point. Has Doria been called?
I think I'm not sure, but I think so. I'm not sure.
I haven't seen Doria's name. That's actually quite an interesting point, Hope. Thanks for bringing that up.
What's it called again? And so I think what the palace is gonna try and do is discredit it within court, because they can't really. They're trying to discredit it right now through Catherine bringing her brother on was it this morning, talking about his mental health issues, which I think was kind of appalling. I don't know how you can do that to somebody, just to throw him out there to save your own skin. But anyway, so anyway, that's what I think. And on top of that, the media need to sell papers. So they're gonna make a big circus out of this completely.
Oh yeah, they're gonna drag it on.
Oh, for sure. And because also when you got Florida and Donald Trump, there's a link there. And the fact that I know that her first lawyer wanted to break ranks with her, and then and to my knowledge, I think the research I did, I think Meghan Markle was trying to stop it from happening, like stop from the court case going further. I think I saw a little bit of like a legal case. I'm not sure if it was you that brought it up or Baron that brought it up. It was like a little bits here and there. I forgot anyway. And I think going back to that, there was like another woman that was on. I would agree with her. I think when Harry decided to marry a woman of color, I think, and I say this, not all white women, nice balance of people that are listening right now, but I think people felt rejection. What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? And I think people felt because if you look at it like Disney, like when it comes to Disney, they've always been pushing down everyone's throat that's that when it comes to all these princesses, they end up marrying the white prince. They don't go for mixed race women. They don't go for people of color. They always go for a white princess. But this time he's done it the other way around, and I think the reason why Meghan Markle's hate what's it called again, the hate brigade, are housewives is because they feel rejected. Like they feel rejected. Like what's wrong with them and stuff. I think a lot of it's low self-esteem, and a lot of it is.
Do you think though, on your point about Disney, I think part of it is just that there just hasn't been that representation, that whole
Yeah, but
idea
that's
of a
that's been
woman of color
deliberate though.
being, the whole idea of a woman of color being in
Yeah,
that, being seen
but
as
that's been
being seen as a
deliberate.
princess and being seen as
Yeah,
feminine, that just hasn't been there. So for people to actually see
yeah, but
it,
yeah,
I guess
exactly.
some people felt, well, that's not, that doesn't happen to girls like that.
Exactly, but if you look, that's why when it comes to television, I watch television sometimes, but I don't watch it. It's very, because if you look in the UK, how many black television shows are there? And whenever there is an all black television show, it's always to do with guns,
Yeah,
knives, or something
gangs.
like that.
Yeah,
It's never a middle class a rich show at all. Like America, you got the French Prince.
a lot.
You got
Yeah,
the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
it's a lot
Here,
more
they
diverse.
don't. They don't have that, and that's on purpose because they know seeing is believing. So, so when it comes to the whole entire Disney thing, it's once again seeing is believing. But when Meghan and Harry got together, it was literally seen as believing. It's not actually, whatever Disney told you or whatever you've been taught when you was a child, it's actually not true. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of it, people just feel rejected. And you know what? I can't believe I'm saying this, but towards people that are racist, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm actually starting to see their insecurity, and I kind of feel sorry.
Mm,
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm not seeing. I know there's some nasty ones out there, but
mm,
I actually just see that they're just really insecure,
yeah.
and they want to be like us. They want the excellence of us because we are excellent. I know we've been, in the news and stuff, we get told that all we do is stab and shoot each other and kill each other and do drugs and stuff like that, and that's only like a small minority. But okay, it is a minority, but I think a lot of it is
It
just
comes from your,
jealousy.
I get what you're saying.
It's
For some people,
jealousy.
it comes from a place of insecurity, because why would
It
you just
is.
dislike
It
someone
is.
because of
It
their skin
is.
color? But
It
thank you so
is.
much. Thank you so much,
Sorry.
Melissa.
Yeah. Sorry, I was rambling. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good evening, Han.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for calling in and tuning in as usual. Yeah, I'm gonna end the podcast now because we're going to like an hour. And yeah, I think we've had some great input today. And that's another week down. I believe we've got some great things to look forward to this year. So let's not get too downtrodden by the drama. I almost expect that we're going to have one giant dramatic moment every single year for the rest of for the rest of like the next 20-30 years of Charles's reign. I'm being generous there. But I literally think we're gonna have one major dramatic thing happen, dramatic lawsuit or something. Like, I hate to say that, but I just feel like the British tabloids, they're just not gonna let it go. Like, they're not gonna let us have peace, y'all. They're not gonna let us have peace. And that's why we have to try and create peace. And sometimes just laugh at it, like what's on the screen right now. We know it's BS. Sometimes you really just gotta laugh at it, right? But it will all be okay, guys and dolls. It will all be okay. As always, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you to the mods and everyone who's come up today. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as we go out. And yeah, has Baron scheduled anything yet? Let me have a look. Let's see, what time is Baron on today? Oh, he hasn't scheduled anything yet, but I'm sure he'll be on. Oh, was he on already? I think I just missed it. Okay, I think Baron was already on. Okay, well, if you haven't watched Baron's replay, go watch Baron's replay. All right, see you tomorrow, folks. Ciao.
Love's for beginners, ain't no winners. It slips through your fingers. I ain't telling no lies. So F all the drama, F the karma. Just do what you wanna. Promise you got time. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Come get your future. Know you wanna, she'll never betray ya. She ain't telling no lies. So break the glass ceiling, find your meaning, make truth out of dreaming. Yeah, baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Be you and keep looking forward. Don't you look backwards and you'll be fine. Come through and say what you need to. Don't let them put you down. Baby, let me tell you what it feels like. Being independent, no trouble inside. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life. Let me tell you what it feels like. Being no one's mama, yeah, treat yourself right. It's like magic, living like a bad bitch. 'Cause baby, you deserve the best in life.
Question: did you get a chance to meet with the royal family? And if not, how was it like having them there in the building?
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph?
The Prince and Princess of Wales.
Oh, no, I did not. I'm only familiar with one royal family. I don't know too much about that one.